Hello everyone and welcome to e-sipnayan. For this video, I will be discussing mean, variance, and standard deviation of discrete probability distribution. Let's start with example number 1. Find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the discrete random variable x with the following probability. So here, this table is the discrete probability distribution and we are to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation. So let's start first for getting the mean. Okay, so to solve for the mean, our formula is mu is equal to summation of x times probability of x. So meaning we have to multiply the given random variable and its corresponding probability and then we add the products. So this will be 2 times 1/4 plus 1 times 1/2 plus 0 times 1/4. And the answer is 1. So mu is equal to 1, or the mean of this discrete probability distribution, or the mean of this discrete random variable x is 1. Next is the variance. So the variance, for the variance, to solve for the variance, this will we have to get the sum of x squared times probability of x, and then we subtract the sum of the products to mean squared or to mu squared. Okay, so the solution will be 2 squared times 1/4 plus 1 squared times 1/2 plus 0 squared times 1/4. So this will be the solution for summation of x squared times probability of x. So we get the sum of the products and then we subtract it to mean squared. So our mean is 1, so that will be 1 squared. And the answer here is 0.5. So this is the variance. Next is the standard deviation. So for the standard deviation, we just have to get the square root of the variance. So standard deviation. So standard deviation is just the square root of 0.5. So square root of 0.5 is approximately 0.71, equal to 0.71. So this is the standard deviation, variance, and the mean. Next example, 3 students are randomly selected from a group with 5 girls and 10 boys. Let x be the number of girls selected. Construct the discrete probability distribution of random variable x, then solve for the mean, variance, and standard deviation. So in this problem, hindi pa given yung ating discrete probability distribution, so we have to construct it first and then we solve for the mean, variance, and standard deviation. So in constructing the discrete probability distribution, we have to identify first kung ano ba yung mga values ng ating random variable. So our random variable here is x and it denotes the number of girls selected. Number of girls selected from this group. Okay? A group with 5 girls and 10 boys. So if x is the number of girls selected, what will be the values of the random variable? That is the next thing that we have to identify. So ang experiment dito sa example na to, kukuha ng 3 estudyante from this group. So there are a total of 15 students. Why? Because there are 5 girls and 10 boys. So there are 15 students and there are 5 girls and 10 boys in this group. So the experiment is kukuha tayo ng 3 estudyante randomly dito sa 15 students na to. And x is the number of girls that we may get. So the values will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so It is possible na sa tatlong estudyante na kukunin natin from this group, walang girls. It is also possible na may isang girls, dalawang girls, and then tatlong girls. Or meaning lahat ng makuha nating student ay puro babae. So, to construct the discrete probability distribution, after we identify the values, we compute for the probability of each. So, we construct the table. So, we have here 0, 1, 2, and 3. So, let's start computing for the probability of each. So, again, the formula for getting the probability is number of favorable outcomes over number of all possible outcomes. So, let's identify first kung ano yung number of favorable outcomes. So, if our random variable is 0, meaning wala tayong girls na makukuha. So, 0 girls, and then the rest are boys. So, there will be 3 boys selected. That is the favorable outcome. So, the solution will be 5, choose 0, times 10, choose 3. Meaning, we will be getting 0 from the girls kasi walang babae if x is equal to 0. And then, the rest will be boys. So, kukuha tayo ng 3 dito sa 10 boys. And then, the number of all possible outcomes will be 15, choose 3. So, bakit 15, choose 3? Because the number of all possible outcomes is, kukuha tayo ng 3 estudyante dito sa 15 students. Okay? Which is the number of students in the group. And 5 choose 0 times 10 choose 3 over 15 choose 3, the answer is 24 over 91. So the probability that the random variable x0 is 24 over 91. Next, we compute for the next random variable, x is equal to 1. So here, our favorable outcome is may isang girl, and then the rest are boys. So since we will be getting 3 students, there will be 2 boys selected. Okay? And then our solution will be for the number of favorable outcome, we will be getting 1 from the girls. So that will be 5 choose 1 times 2 from the boys. So that will be 10 choose 2. Over, again, the number of favorable outcome, just like in the previous probability, that's 15 choose 3. I mean, number of all possible outcomes. And then when we compute for this is 45 over 91. Next, probability that x is equal to 2. So here, the number of favorable or yung mga favorable outcomes natin ay kung makakuha tayo ng 2 girls and then the rest are boys, so 1 boy will be selected. So to solve for the number of favorable outcomes, kukuha tayo ng 2 sa girls, so that will be 5 choose 2. This is again multiplication. We will be getting 1 from the boy, so that's 10 choose 1 over 15 choose 3. And this is 20 over 91. Next, last value will be probability that x is equal to 3. So here, 3 girls will be selected and there will be no boys in the selection. So our solution for the number of favorable outcomes is we will be getting 3 from the girls, so that will be 5 choose 3 and 0 from the boys. 5 choose 3 times 10 choose 0 over the number of all possible outcomes, which is 15 choose 3. And this is 2 over 91. When we add all the probabilities to check if our computation is correct, we may add all the probabilities. The sum should be equal to 1 or 100%. So this is the discrete probability distribution. The next thing to do is to solve for the mean, variance, and standard deviation. So to solve for the mean, again, we use the formula for the mean. That will be mu is equal to summation of x times probability of x. So we get the sum of the products of the random variable and its corresponding probability. So this will be equal to 0 times 24 over 91 plus 1 times 45 over 91 45 over 91 plus 2 times 20 over 91 plus 3 times 2 over 91. And the sum will be 1. So this is the mean. Mean is also the expected value. It's also known as the expected value. So most likely, kapag paulit-ulit na ginawa yung experiment dito sa situation na to, wherein we will be getting 3 students in this group of 15 students, most likely, the value of a random variable x will be 1. Okay? So that is the expected value. Next is the standard deviation, the variance. So to solve for the variance, our formula is variance. Our formula is equal to summation of x squared times probability of x minus mean squared. Okay, so we get the sum of x squared times probability of x, and then we subtract the sum to mean squared or to 1 squared. So this will be 0 squared times 24 over 91 plus 1 squared times 45 over 91 plus 2 squared times 20 over 91 over 91. Okay, let me fix that. Again, that's 2 squared times 20 over 91 plus 3 squared times 2 over 91. And then, once we get the sum, we subtract it to mean squared, which is 1 squared. So there, our variance is equal to 0.57, approximately 0.57. And then to solve for the standard deviation, so this is the variance. And then to solve for the standard deviation, we just have to get the square root of the variance. So standard deviation is equal to square root of 57, square root of 0.57 rather, square root of 0.57, and square root of 0.57 is approximately 0.75. Standard deviation is approximately equal to 0.75. 0.75. Okay, so this is the variance. I mean the standard deviation. So, what is the implication of the variance and the standard deviation? So, when you say variance and standard deviation, This is the average distance of all the data to the mean. So, ang pinagkaiba lang nila ni variance, the unit is unit square, and then for the standard deviation, it will be units lang. Okay, so, pero ang implication nila are just the same. It is the average distance of all data to the mean, and the mean is 1. Okay po? So, that will be the last example. Don't forget to like and subscribe to e-sipnayan.